What's good, y'all? Welcome to Shoot the J, a show about everything and anything NBA. My name is Jeremiah, and I look to bring my own take to NBA discourse throughout the year. I plan to upload once a week. No more, no less. With a recap, basically, to whatever's happened in the league at the exact time. You know, I'm an NBA head. We're not going to pause on that. And you know what? Without further ado, this is my pilot episode. This will be uploaded before the tip-off of the 2024-2025 NBA season. I plan to be extremely locked in, stupidly locked in, as Jimmy Butler has once stated. And we know how that ended up for him. But still, regardless, I will be locked in on this season. So I'm extremely happy that I can bring a show like this to fruition and bring some basketball discourse to the world, as if it was not already overused and much needed. Who cares? I'm still going to bring my take. I'm still going to be with y'all. And I'm still going to show love to this community as long as y'all show love to me back. Show all the love possible. I need you to like. I need you to comment. I need you to subscribe. I need you to share. I need you to do everything you possibly can. Please, por favor. And without further ado, we're going to get my pilot episode started for Shoot the J, an NBA show. This will be uploaded before the tip-off of the 2024-2025 NBA season. We are locked in. Without further ado, we can start talking about the actual games that will be played tonight. How about that? Now, as you can see, I had to show out for the opening night. We got LeBron James on, and the unanimous Knicks, who will probably be the number one seed in the East, but that's another debate for later. But regardless, I'm showing out for two different teams that are playing on opening night. Let's get started with the first opener. We've got the much anticipated Boston Celtics versus New York Knicks playing at 6:30. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get down to the real notes, the real information. So what we do know is this is game one, clearly. It's also ring night for the Boston Celtics, which is important. The reason why that's important is because most teams that have won the championship in previous years, they usually go one way or the other when it comes to their first game. It's either like, A, are we just going to coast, come and get our little ring, come and flex, take some pictures and all that shit, or are we going to make a huge statement on opening night and tell everybody, oh, we're not done. Job's not finished. We're going for the repeat. Regardless, we have the same roster. We have the same people on the team. They're doing exactly everything that they need to do correctly. They probably have the best chemistry in the league right now. Still, that being said, you have some doubters here and there, blah, blah, blah. What's going on with Porzingis? Is Porzingis going to be back by the beginning of the season? Will Porzingis be back later in the season? What will that look like? Will they be able to reincorporate him back? Or do they not really care? Because they're already a fantastic team off the rip. You know, everybody's looking forward to what Jason Tatum is looking to do after everybody I clowned him to an extent. Okay, definitely clowned him during the Olympics. Getting benched. I mean, he really can overcome a lot of that stuff. Anyways, regardless. Will they make a statement or will they coast? We'll have to see what kind of energy they bring into tonight's game. Now, on the other side of the fence, we love to talk about these boys. New York, where are we at? Now, the Knicks probably had the best offseason, really, out of any team this year. I mean, you're talking about them completely, I wouldn't say completely, but revamping their roster as much as they can. And if you really look back and think about how many moves they've made in the year of 2024 alone, I mean, you're talking about them acquiring OG Anunoby and Bogey in the February trade deadline, and then you expand off of that by immediately as soon as the offseason starts, to an extent. You know, you've got Michael Bridges in there. He still hasn't suited up or played a single game for them quite yet, so they're still wondering what that's going to look like on the court, which is going to be fantastic, by the way. And in a random surprise, a couple weeks before the season even starts, they slam a deal down, getting Karl Anthony Towns, getting finally their big man that they really needed within that roster to round it out. And I think they're just all in at this point. I think this is really where they're putting all their chips towards. They do have well-rounded roster. They're not super deep compared to what they used to have, but hey, they're looking to just be flashy. They're looking to go crazy. They're looking to be a top 3 seed in the East. They're trying to compete with, what the Sixers are doing, because the Sixers are kind of putting their chips in on Paul George. They're trying to get after Boston because they obviously have this great roster that's not going anywhere. So I do think it was a great move for the Knicks. I do think the Knicks will play well this season. I'm not quite sure if they will play well against the Boston Celtics tonight. Will that matter too much? Not really, maybe. The pressure's not necessarily on them at the end of the day. They will still have time to gel with their roster. How will they fit together? But if they do well, I mean, everybody's just going to be like, what the hell? Like, they have great chemistry and everything. But that's the question, is chemistry. The question with a lot of these teams in this league right now, as we speak, is the chemistry. Who's going to have chemistry? Who doesn't? I do think the Knicks will play extremely well. R.I.P. to Brooklyn, by the way. I must interject. R.I.P. to my Kyrie and my Kevontavious Durant jersey. Because Brooklyn doesn't exist. It's Knicks all day. It's Knicks all day. Well, what else can I say right now? It's very exciting. Everybody's very much looking forward to it. But the Knicks will play well, and it'll probably be a close game tonight. Now, I do want to kind of give a note and, flowers, I guess, to the Celtics, because let's just not sell themselves short. They're clearly, at least last year, the best team in the league. It was very early forecasted that they were going to make the finals early in the year, and so nobody was really too surprised when they ended up taking the championship home. Now, the real question is, so they have Derek White, Al Horford, you've got goddamn Drew Holiday. Why did I blank on Drew Holiday? Drew Holiday, Porzingis, which is not going to play tonight, but you've already got very important core players. Then you've got Jaylen Brown, who just won Finals MVP, and Jason Tatum, who's trying to prove something. I think they will play incredibly well, as they always do, and they'll probably fill in the gap with Porzingis. They'll find a way. Maybe some of the bigs in the league will probably play well against them in the regular season, but as long as Porzingis is there at the right time, as we saw last year in Game 1, I think they'll be all right. We're kind of selling them short. I think everybody did that last year. It would be foolish to do that this year. Tonight's season opener, this is the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. It'll be played in L.A. because it has to be played in L.A. Why wouldn't it be played in L.A.? Anyways, let's get aside from all the other stuff. It's quite obvious that the attention tonight will be on LeBron James and Bronny James Jr., his son, his spawn, his child. He created his teammate. I mean, how is this not must-see TV? If you're not tuned in, what the hell are you watching? What are you watching? Anyways, it's also very obvious that, LeBron's commitment to basketball has kind of, I guess, ramped up in a way that we didn't expect to see, because he's old as hell. And after the Olympics, he kind of made a lot of statements and said, I'm in it. I'm here until my legs fall off and blah, blah. I might play with my other son, Bryce, and all these other things. So we're like, okay, LeBron, go until you're like 50 years old. But we're going to see how much energy he's going to apply that to the Lakers this season, as he always does, which we know he does well. And he tries his best to be an old man trying to carry that damn franchise for many years. The matchup, I feel like, aside from the Lakers' attention, because media will be everywhere, is a very important matchup. Extremely important matchup. Vital for the Lakers to win this. Also vital for the Wolves to win this, because they want to make a statement. But, I think it's a hyper-competitive season from both conferences. The West is even more so. You lose 1 to 2 games, you're down 4 seeds. What are you supposed to do? You have to win the easy games, and even the hard games you have to just scratch them out. But whoever wins this, I think that'll be pretty important to set a tone early in the season. Where are they? Are the Wolves going to do well with their new roster? Are they going to do bad with their new roster? Do they need to mold themselves a little more? Are the Lakers going to have their mediocre season over and over and over again and barely make the play-in? Or is that their goal? Because maybe it works out better for them when they do match up with these top seeds early and they're not tired by the end of it. Granted, that being said, for some reason they just keep finding Denver somewhere in the playoffs. So maybe that might not work for them this year as well, because they're locked into Denver for no reason. That's their kryptonite. They can't win against Denver. But aside from that, both teams obviously look to win tonight. It's a win now, win immediately type of season. The Timberwolves will also look amazing because I think they have a very nice deep roster, no diddler. I think they're revamped. I think they've got a bunch of new players that will do well to give them some bench room. DiVincenzo is going to be fantastic. I think Julius Randle fits a little better with Gobert because you're already stuck with Gobert, and you probably don't want Gobert, but you're stuck with him anyway. So that's why they made the whole move with Cat this offseason. I think a lot of people oversaw that. But, most importantly, the real question is, what is Anthony Edwards going to look like this season? Is he going to look like a damn Derrick Rose MVP type season where he just says, this city is mine, everything is mine, give it all to me, and I'm taking the entire conference with me? He has more responsibility now. He's entirely the face of that franchise now that Cat is gone. At least they're sharing it to some extent, but he's better. But still, it's very clear that he could have a make or break season where he could go for a damn MVP type of season. That's like his ceiling even more or whatever. His floor is I don't know, MIP maybe, I guess. He's gonna win something, but they also want to do well in the playoffs. So I think that's a big reason why they had to make this move, and they were looking to make these moves because they've been pretty high up in the seed at least the past 2 years, didn't do well in the playoffs. So they really want to make it to where they're kind of like Dallas and they can have a good run at playoff runs instead of just the regular season. On the Lakers side of the ticket, we want to talk about Bronny James and Dalton Connect, which I think people oversee Dalton Connect completely, even though he was a higher draft pick than him, but whatever. I think they will be welcome additions to the Lakers, and I think that's good news, but it's also bad news because that says a lot about the Lakers. If you're relying on LeBron's son and a 20th pick in the draft this year to get your team 5 extra wins to get a good playoffs, you're not doing it right. You don't have. Who's running that franchise? Why do they still have D'Lo? Is the real question. I mean, LeBron has to have information on somebody, somewhere. That being said, that team just looks like there's not much that has changed. But that being said, that's why I bring up the rookies and the fresh new faces and what can they do to revive this god-forsaken Lakers roster. That being said, who can save the Lakers? How could I forget? We're not even talking about players. We ain't talking about practice. Well, we're technically talking about practice. We're talking about the coach, JJ Redick. JJ Redick is the Lakers' new head coach, i.e. this season. I think he's going to do fantastic. I think he's going to bring a very different scope to their team. Do I think the players will be able to commit to it? Yes. Do I think it'll look great? Probably not. Maybe they don't have the talent to do these things that JJ Redick is writing up, that are goddamn Picasso paintings that they can't even decipher, essentially. I don't know what kind of teams would. I don't know why I'm painting him like this god, but I mean, I've seen him squiggle on a whiteboard. He seems like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to basketball. And LeBron capping and all that. For some of my closing notes regarding this game specifically, what I really want to see tonight is, from the Wolves side, is, what will players like Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, bring to the table immediately? What will their impact be? And not only their impact, how will the offense/defense change with them on the roster? Will it be faster? Will it be slower? Will they be gritty? I mean, I want to see it all. I want to study all of this. I want to study every single game. I want to take the damn notes. This is what I'm here for. And even on the Lakers side, with their different style of play with J.J. Redick, whether it be fast, whether it be slow, whether it be calculated, will they have great defense? They probably will have great defense because they've been a pretty decent defensive team for the past couple seasons. They just can't hit a three for the life of them in 2024. But I really would like to study that, see that, write that, read that, do everything that I need to do when it comes to watching Lakers basketball and every other roster's basketball. But aside from all of my hopefulness and, energy, I'm very much looking forward to how the 2024-2025 NBA, season will start. I hope my Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, I hope they can surprise everybody. I hope Wembanyama has a fantastic season. I hope CP3 leads them to the promised land. My GOAT Wembanyama will finally, get the respect he deserves. And I hope, most importantly, this season is competitive, entertaining, and funny because, oh my God, like I said earlier, NBA Twitter is just delightful, man. I mean, the quotes, the pictures, the things with that little meme. If I can slide it here, if I can't, I promise in post the next video I'll do it. But those memes with those stupid ass quotes, like, I live for it. It's just the funniest season is ever going to happen. It's going to happen right now during this season. So really what I wanted to say was this is as raw as it gets. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please show some love again from like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever you need to do. Just promote Shoot the J. It's the Shoot the J show. And it's always going to be that show, and we're going to do it every week. I love y'all. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video. If you made it over here, you're an absolute real one if you really watch the entire thing. And you have a great retention rate. You probably don't have TikTok, which is good, but you have a great retention rate. Peace. Once again, I will have results for both of these, NBA games going on tonight in my following video. That will kind of be a recap of a handful of games that have gone through the league throughout, the week. I'm planning on making one video a week, essentially, just a 1 week recap, talking 30 teams, what the hell happened, what could happen in the following week, and just try to be consistent week after week after week. One upload a week. See where it goes from there. Will we stop completely? We'll never stop. Sky's the limit. But aside from all of my hopefulness and, energy, I'm very much looking forward to how the 2024-2025 NBA, season will start. I hope my Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, I hope they can surprise everybody. I hope Wembanyama has a fantastic season. I hope CP3 leads them to the promised land. My GOAT Wembanyama will finally, get the respect he deserves. And I hope, most importantly, this season is competitive, entertaining, and funny because, oh my God, like I said earlier, NBA Twitter is just delightful, man. I mean, the quotes, the pictures, the things with that little meme. If I can slide it here, if I can't, I promise in post the next video I'll do it. But those memes with those stupid ass quotes, like, I live for it. It's just the funniest season is ever going to happen. It's going to happen right now during this season. So really what I wanted to say was this is as raw as it gets. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please show some love again from like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever you need to do. Just promote Shoot the J. It's the Shoot the J show. And it's always going to be that show, and we're going to do it every week. I love y'all. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video. If you made it over here, you're an absolute real one if you really watch the entire thing.